What's up, guys? Here's my iPhone XR in 2020 review. First of all, let's talk about how much this phone costs. On Apple.com, it is $600, and on places like Facebook Marketplace, you can get it around $400, which is very good. This phone is 64 gigabytes and comes with around 3 gigabytes of RAM, which is the same as the iPhone X. So you might think that RAM is small, but it's actually big for an iPhone. If you're going to compare this to an Android, 3 gigabytes of RAM on an iPhone is basically 6 gigabytes on an Android. That's how nice the software optimization is. Now, talking about app support, the apps on here are much nicer and more intuitive than on Android. Even though Android gives you more customization, I feel like iPhones are much more optimized to be used. And I like the form factor of the phone too. It is 6.1 inches. So you don't have to shimmy up and down like other phones. Like if I brought my OnePlus phone out here, you have to stretch to go to the top and the bottom of the 6.7 inch screen. This is just a 6.1 inch screen. So you can go up to top and then go down and click something down here really easy without having to shimmy. On the back, we have a 12 megapixel camera. It is amazing. This is one of the best cameras I've ever used on a smartphone, even though it has a single lens compared to the OnePlus 7 Pro, which is a very nice Android, which has 3. One camera gets the job done. It supports portrait mode too, and has the best HDR ever. Like comparing this to even the newer iPhones, this is still on the same level. The camera technology in the software is very nice, and it comes with the A12 chipset. So the new iPhones have the A13 chipset. So if you're thinking about speed, this is at the same level. Even if you got the A11 chipset, which is on the iPhone X, it's still very good. Even going back to the A10, which is on the iPad 7, which I have a review, which was one of my other videos, A10 chip is still really good. So no matter what iPhone you get nowadays, the speed is pretty much the same. This iPhone is equipped with gesture navigation. So going in and out of apps, super fast. I mean, nothing. Like it just in and out and in and out. And let's open up like a game. Let's open up Sniper 3D. You could see this app was for older iPhones, but they had to stretch it out to make it bigger. You could see how the notch cuts into the display a little bit, but I would say it's nothing to worry about because it's not the worst. Like most apps don't really care about the side of the phone, more about like what's in the middle. So I don't think it would be annoying. You get used to it pretty quick. So we could see how fast that loaded up. And if we switch between settings, I mean, for a phone, this is about as fast as like a PlayStation or an Xbox. So props to Apple for making these phones super fast and easy to use. I love gesture navigation. I feel like it is the most best thing about iPhones. If I were to go on my OnePlus phone, and if I went to my app navigation, you could see that it's slower. Like you have to go click, get out, swipe. It's not intuitive. Like here, you go, just bam. It's like so much faster. The bezels on this phone could be smaller. Let me show you up close. You could see they're a little bit thick. It's the same bezel all the way around, so it gets you that like premium iPhone X feeling for a cheaper price. The sides are aluminum, but they're still the same type of quality as the new iPhones. The back is glass. It is equipped with wireless charging, and it has water resistance. The OnePlus phone does not have wireless charging or water and dust resistance, so it's a bit of a gamble if you're going to take that phone out. And talking about all this good stuff, we should talk about some of the bad stuff. One thing is lack of customization on this phone. You can barely customize anything. I mean, moving your apps around is basically it, and that's all you got. So I would say if you want to customize your phone, get a Samsung device. Another thing is it has a bigger notch than most phones. Like it covers like the whole top, so you can only have these icons up here, where on my phone, which has no notch, you have every single icon at the top of the phone. But other than that, that's the only downside. I mean, unless you want a phone bigger than 6.1 inches, you can get like a 10s Max or 11 Pro Max. If you want a phone smaller, you can get the iPhone like 11. iPhone 11 Pro, which is 5.8 inches. So I would say they did a really good job at this. To be honest, it's worth it to me compared to the iPhone 11. And I think this phone will hold up for another half a decade at least. I mean, the battery on here is amazing. It was the first iPhone to boast about its battery life. I can go get around 9 hours to 10 hours of screen on time, just one charge. And the standby time is incredible. If I turn this phone off for one night, I wake up the next day, it doesn't even lose a percent of battery because it holds it so well. So if you're gonna go out to the beach and do stuff and play games, you want this phone because it's not gonna just die on you. You don't need to bring a charger every single minute. And comparing it to the iPhone 11, the battery is not as good, but it's almost the same level. It will last you the whole day. Now, going into the other thing about this phone is that it has iMessage on it. iMessage is so nice to use. You could play games with your friends, and you have blue bubbles, which I know some iPhone users hate when you use an Android and you have green bubbles. But I think it's all connected and intuitive in the Apple ecosystem. If you had an iPhone, an iPad, and a MacBook, you could transfer files simultaneously between them. Like if I had an all Apple ecosystem set up, recording my YouTube videos and doing them is much easier, and I think it's really nice. So that is my OnePlus. That is my iPhone XR video in 2020, and I think it is the best phone you can get from Apple for this price. And see you next time. Peace out.